Tough news for Grizzlies fans yesterday. Ja Morant, doubtful for the rest of the playoffs. Bone bruise in his right knee. I mean, shocked if he would see it. I think more than doubtful. Nick, are you concerned at all about Ja's future?
I am. So, micro and macro. Micro, bone bruise is one of those injuries that doesn't sound that bad. And then you're like, hey, speaking of Lakers, didn't they use their mid-level exception on Kendrick Nunn? Where was he? And it's like, oh, he missed the year with a bone bruise suffered last season. So the bone bruise part of it is concerning to me. But here's the bigger concern, Antoine. Ja's style of play. I know he didn't get hurt on one of these high-flying plays, but what makes Ja a superstar is he might be at this moment the best raw athlete in the league. He had the dunk of the playoffs, even though Wilds didn't think it was any good. Everyone else did. His ability to get past people and get to the rim is out of this world. And I do think he, on the spectrum of injury risks, he's got to be one of the does concern me. Because I don't think he is a superstar without this athleticism. His game's not there yet.
No, I don't think. I mean, it comes with the game. We can't. I don't want to get overboard or try to like pinpoint these injuries. That this injury is going to affect his career. It is a little concerning because he did miss 25 games during the regular season. So you want a guy that's going to be durable. But I wouldn't want him to change his game. I mean, we saw. Like I said, I compared him to a Derrick Rose early in his career, as athletic as he was, or Westbrook, those guys being athletic guards. And both of those guards sustained knee injuries early in their career as well. So it's something to think about. It's just unfortunate. When you're chasing and you're trying to win a championship, you got to have a little luck and you got to stay injury-free. Unfortunately, they didn't have any luck. Dylan Brooks had to miss a game, and now John's going to probably miss the rest of the series. So everybody knows how big I was on Memphis, but, obviously his health is more concerning, his future. This is a guy you're going to build around for the next 5 or 6 years. So they got to be cautious of that moving forward. And it is a serious injury because I know John's a competitor, and he would love to be out there. So I like the fact that they're taking it serious. It's something that they have to really monitor with this guy because he is your future. And we saw injuries take guys out and set them back years, and you don't want this to happen to Ja.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm not concerned, and some of that is just hopeful. I'm not as concerned about him as, say, a Zion Williamson. But you brought up the name, Twine, that I think Nick was thinking about and all of us are thinking about, and that's Derrick Rose. And Derrick Rose was Ja Morant. In fact, as much as Ja's achieved, Derrick had achieved more. He won the MVP in his third year. This is Ja's third year. And he was an explosive player, a small guard who was explosive like Ja. And obviously his knees gave out because he put so much torque on them. I think the difference is that Ja is not quite as herky-jerky as Derrick Rose was. Rose was completely herky-jerky, and I think that put more pressure on his knees. Ja's more straight line explosiveness, like a Westbrook. And Westbrook, even though he's been hurt, for the most part, he's been very durable. And so I think that could help Ja. And he is a little bit herky-jerky, though. But I think he'll be I'm looking at him more following the Westbrook route and not being as injury-prone as Derrick Rose. And a lot of that's hopeful because Nick's right. If you take away his athleticism, at this moment, he's not close to the same player, although maybe he'll work on his skills and get better in those ways.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. This is a big summer for Ja. For as great as he is, he's got to become a more consistent shooter, and he's got to become a better defensive player. How long is he going to be on the shelf this summer before he can start getting back in the gym and working on those things? All of this matters for a player that we look at as one of the great players in this league. Antoine, however, I have good news for you because you did pick the Grizzlies and now it looks like they're dead. You are totally, and I'm being sincere here, off the hook. Broussard announced a week ago that he's inspected the first things first bylaws, and any injury whatsoever, up to and including Marcus Smart missing one game, Yeah, you were like, Marcus Smart missed one game. I'm off the hook for the Celtics. So Ja Morant being out for the series means you are totally off the hook. You don't have to worry about it at all, Antoine. It's like the pick never happened.
Suns Mavs. We could have a big debate about this. Am I supposed to lay it in because we're up big? Am I offended by the foul? Don't touch me. A lot of nonsense. Biombo and Chris. They get ejected. Maybe a little I'll see you in the locker room action. But there was just a collective, whatever from NBA media. Guys going down the wrong locker room to like fight each other. And we're like, man, whatever. What's Kyrie saying on Twitch? It's more interesting.
Chris's
Moving on to the wonderful.
I
agree, Nick.
I think he's a pretty heavy dude.
I agree.
We're back to Miami. Khaled gets the inbound fired up. Again, everyone, don't let this distract you from Rosé's rebound earlier in this series. And the fact that we're criminally underserved when it comes to his livestock content. Rosé, what's going on with the Buffaloes? And that's a weird and wonderful from the national pastime. I just need to know. New column from Bill Platsky in the LA Times. Jeannie Buss, not happy. Here's her quote. I'm growing impatient. Just because we had the 4th highest payroll in the league. When you spend that kind of money on the luxury tax, you expect to go deep into the playoffs. So yeah, it was gut-wrenching for me to go out on a limb like that and not get the results we were looking for. Broussard, what was your biggest takeaway from the column?
Well, I had a few. And one was that, look, Jeannie said the right thing. I'm impatient. You know, she said later on, I will make the hard decisions. If we're not living up to the Lakers standards, I'll look at everything. But then it didn't ring true. It kind of came off, as you read the whole article, like she was just saying it because she knew that's what the fans wanted to hear, that you're impatient and we're turning over every rock and stone to find the answer. And the reason I say it didn't ring true is because she had incredible, unwavering confidence and faith in Rob Pelinka and Kurt Rambis. Now, my thing is this with Pelinka. It's you can have, of course, he's your GM. You believe in him. But the confidence level that she suggested she had yesterday or in the column is unwarranted to this point. Because let's face it, Rob Pelinka did not build that championship team. He had nothing to do with LeBron deciding to go to the Lakers, and he didn't get Anthony Davis. Let's face it, LeBron got Anthony Davis. And even KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who was a role player there. I mean, yeah, Rob had something to do with it, but really that was just, Rich Paul and Clutch bringing KCP there and getting him a great contract too. So Rob didn't build that team. So my point is, where's